I call myself M because the first letter of the word Manavar, Ma is M, and Manushya in Sanskrit is M. Therefore I am M, and I am happy with that M. It helps me to go and be in the presence of great people and great beings. And I don't think one should say, I have finished my sadhana, so I don't need any more blessings. Wrong. Everybody is in need of blessings at all times. So I always bow down my head whenever I see a manifestation of divinity. Now, having said that, I just need to chant a Sanskrit sloka, which you have all heard. And if that much is there in the lives of human beings, I think we are moving on the path. And that, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkapad Bhavet, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. From my teacher, Maheshwarnath Babaji, I have learned this, that the most important thing in life is to look after others and not yourself. Now, most of you must be knowing something about me, where I was born and where I went. I had a teacher. I was fortunate to have a teacher, Maheshwarnath Babaji, who belonged to the Nata Sampradaya. I heard somewhere that Sri Bindu Madhava Avaduta also talks about the Nata Sampradaya, Dattatreya Sampradaya. These are the two Avaduta Sampradayas that we have in India. This is especially so in parts of Maharashtra. Of course, Avadutas are everywhere. The difficulty is, Avadutas don't have pomp and glory which people associate usually with people who call themselves gods. Nobody can claim, somebody told someone, I won't discuss who, that he is Mahavishnu Avatara, somebody. So this person turned to him and said, can he lift up Govardhan with his little finger? So therefore, we say somebody is divine because there is divinity seen, not because that person says I am divine. We see the divinity in others and we say this person is divine. If you ask that person, he might say, I don't know, I am not. This is a sure sign of an Avaduta that there is no pomp, glory, pretense. Life is simple. You go, you love, I love you back. If you don't love me, then also I love you. This is very, very important to note. Otherwise, you can know all the Shastras, but it makes no sense. I can quote all the Upanishads for you. Yan manasa namanyute anahuru manomatam, that which even the mind cannot conceive of, that which I am. No limited being can claim that. However, when the divinity manifests itself in human hearts, then we see the actual divinity in a human form. That's about it. I can't claim that also. I have experienced some things with the blessings of Maheshwarnath Babaji. And in this experience, I am now established in. And therefore, whenever I see divine presence, I very much humbly like to go and bow down. I want to take 2 minutes of your time to tell you a small story which shows how Avadutas cannot be recognized unless our hearts are open. There was a man who was a very poor man living somewhere in the Middle East. This is a Sufi story in the Middle East. And when he was young, he was very poor. But he had spiritual interest in his mind. He wanted to become spiritual. But since he was poor, there was also the desire to become rich. In the middle, like it happens to many of us, the desire to become rich became more important than spiritual growth. So he became rich. He worked hard. But that little flame was there in his heart for spiritual progress. So when he reached the age of 55, he said, I think I've got too caught up in this trying to become rich business. So now I must go back to my spiritual roots, and that little flame which is inside, I need to ignite it again. So what did he do? Gave away all his wealth and everything, built a small cottage those places there are no rivers. There's only few places where in an oasis. He built a small house in an oasis, took all his books which he has been reading and went and stayed there. Now he needed food. So he went to the village, got a good cook, somebody recommended, and went and stayed in the village. 7 years he lived there, 7 years, doing Swadhyaya with the books, meditating. Cook was making excellent food for him. He lived there. Well, incidentally, the cook was a vegetarian, so he got only vegetarian food. Then, after 7 years, he realized that for this journey, he needed a guru. He can't do it himself. He needed a teacher. So he went out and started searching in the deserts. He searched everywhere. One day he saw a man coming with all the paraphernalia of a guru. You know what I mean? I mean, a Sufi guru. Green turban, big beard, rosaries on his neck, the entire paraphernalia. So he went to him and bowed down to him and said, "Sir, I think you are a great teacher. Please accept me as your disciple." This man said 2 questions. 1, how do you know that I am a great spiritual teacher? He said, you look like one. He said, do you think spiritual teachers look like anything? He said, second question, even I think you are a sincere man. Even if I have to take you as my disciple, I have to ask my guru, take permission, and then accept you as a disciple. He said, sir, please do that. He said, sir, that is the problem. 7 years my guru has disappeared. I don't know where he is. When I find him, then I will ask him, take his permission and accept you as my disciple. He said, sir, but where is he? He said, he's searching. I am searching for him. He said, sir, you give me a description, then I will also help you. Because I am very eager. We said, okay. He said, he's a short man, doesn't wear upper garments, only a small white cloth, and always has a towel on his left side, left shoulder. And he's also a very good cook. So this man said, just a minute, wait. You just describe something and somebody, can you come with me to my house? He said, okay. So he took him to his house. The kitchen door opened and the cook came out with a towel. And the man bowed down to him and said, Master, where have you disappeared for 7 years? This man is looking for a guru. You are with him for 7 years. He didn't realize he's still looking for a teacher. So he said, it took me 7 years to convince this fellow that he needed a teacher. Now that he has understood this truth, you can become his teacher because I have other work to do. Put his towel and walked away. All I am trying to say is there are no criteria except simplicity, straightforwardness, love and affection, with which you can really find out where a spiritual teacher is. Other things don't matter.